Let's get into the weekly recap. Cal Fire Riverside County Fire responded to multiple reports of a commercial structure fire. The fire was reported at Tony's Hay and Gain in the 1300 block of 6th Street. The first arriving companies reported several stacks of hay fully engulfed with fire with extension to a hay barn. Firefighters immediately began an aggressive fire attack and were able to contain the blaze to the stacks of hay and the hay barn. The cause of the fire is under investigation. Mike shot this. Good stuff, Mike.
Fire is contained. It is not knocked down. It won't be knocked down for many hours. The wind right now is about 3 to 5 miles an hour. That's continuing to cast embers into the neighboring property. We're working on suppressing those embers now. We probably won't have full containment on the fire until later this afternoon.
I shot this one. Water started gushing up from the ground in the Beverly Grove area of Los Angeles in the early AM hours. 2 cars could be seen slowly sinking into the ground. A black Honda was getting the worst of it. I had competition on this too. 2 competitors. They got 0 hits. I got 3. And that's because of this shot coming up. They don't have that. That car started to leave. And it kept getting worse. And I'm like, dude, I gotta feed it. At some point, like, it was actually worse than that, but... All right, we got a shooting near Crenshaw High School. A man was shot near Crenshaw High School, which was placed on lockdown for a time as a precaution. Emergency responders went to the 5000 block of 11th Avenue and found a man who had been shot. The unidentified man, in his 40s, was taken to a hospital in stable condition. Officials ordered a brief precautionary lockdown of the high school where classes had been scheduled to begin at 9 a.m. They were stoked. As long as it wasn't one of their friends that were shot, they were stoked because they don't have to go to school for a little bit. Police took 4 out of 5 suspects into custody following a carjacking pursuit out of LA County. 5 suspects carjacked a victim in LA County and led police on a wild pursuit that ended after they crashed in front of the youth correctional facility in Chino. They didn't have far to go. All 5 suspects took foot bail from the crash and ran into the correctional housing across from Chino Airport. 3 of the suspects were taken into custody without incident. The 4th, a male, was bitten by a police canine after he failed to comply with officers' commands to come out from under a trailer for which he was hiding. That's funny. Crashed it up.
What happened to the 5th person?
He was not caught. Police took 4 out of 5 suspects into custody.
2 people were killed by gunfire in South Los Angeles. The double homicide was reported Tuesday in the 900 block of West 74th Street. Arriving officers found 2 males down. LAPD did not disclose the ages of the victims or any information about who shot them.
Authorities are investigating what caused a fire to break out at a recycling center Wednesday night. Firefighters were called to the 11100 block of Pendleton Street. Crews began battling the fire but had trouble accessing it through a small entrance. It took crews about 40 minutes to knock down the fire. Recycling center fires are fun. I believe this one was much bigger than what our footage shows.
Still not quite sure what the cause is at this point, so hopefully as we start moving more product through, we'll be able to determine what the cause was.
San Bernardino Police SWAT surrounded an apartment on Central Avenue in Riverside, searching for a suspect in an earlier homicide in the city of San Bernardino. Residents in the complex were evacuated as SWAT attempted to get the suspect to surrender. After several hours, SWAT made entry into the apartment, where they determined the suspect was not. He got away.
A woman and some of her friends were in some sort of an altercation which led to her being shot. While in the vehicle at a different location. The victim then drove to a separate location where she and some friends called LAPD and LAFD. LAFD transported her to a nearby hospital to be checked out, and LAPD was on scene investigating, going through the car and rummaging through blood-soaked stuff in her vehicle.
All right, so we got a Huntington Beach pursuit ending here. A Huntington Beach police officer on routine patrol observed a vehicle driving erratic. The officer attempted to pull over the vehicle, but the vehicle failed to yield and led officers on a short pursuit. During the pursuit, the suspect's vehicle caused a non-injury collision with another vehicle. The suspect vehicle continued to evade officers where it crashed on Edinger Avenue east of Gothard Street. 2 suspects fled from the vehicle. 1 suspect dropped a semi-auto handgun as he was running away. 1 suspect was taken into custody not far from where the vehicle crashed, and officers conducted a search for the 2nd suspect in a drainage ditch and nearby neighborhood. That suspect was not found. so you can get away.
He's probably with the 5th out of that 4 out of 5 ones.
Yeah. And that was our weekly recap.